Once they, because they were saying they were trying to figure out, because it was such a low budget, they were trying to figure out what they were going to use to cover him up with. They figured that was probably the eeriest, most, the idea. So then they were showing these different masks, and I said to her right away, I said, it almost looks like it. And they didn't see it right away. They just went past this bunch of masks. And then they came back and they said they set this on William Shatner's James T. Kirk mask. And all they did was they cut the eyes out bigger, and when they made the mask with him, they puffed the sides out just a little bit to make it a little more, so it wasn't quite so contoured. Right. So it kind of came out a little bit. But once you see the facial features, you go, no shit, it is. That was a James T. Kirk.
Yeah, I think I do remember seeing that same show. Set a day that we're going to do this demonstration,
right,
and invite the Met general manager to go see it.
Right.
Talk to his.
Oh, you fucker! I'm trying to give you a good grip, buddy.
His secretary, and see what day that he's in and free, and just kind of, put the demonstration that day and just say, hey, we're doing a demonstration that day. You're free. If you're free, come. And hopefully, does it. So, but we have to do it sometime soon. Like once June hits, we're not going to be 3 days to do the park.
Right.
So
right. That's true.
I'll stay on him. I have to go to training next week. Next Wednesday.
Yeah. See what they say. I mean, that would probably be the easiest.
817 telephone Robert Fortner. 570.
It's usually the best, especially to get the people that are involved there, so that things can be explained.
Even the chief would know better. He loves the idea, but at least he can see what's going on.
I like that idea. I always like that idea because it gives whoever's looking at doing this idea of what they're looking at, what they're getting into. Not necessarily as much of what they're getting into, but what to expect.
Right.
Until it's all said and done. And I've often said, years ago, a department would want to go to canine, so they would go to somebody like Bill Castle or Progressive or something like that. And what would happen is, since they were normally dealing with a lot of dogs that had a Schutzhund Foundation or a sport foundation, they would show these people things that really weren't pertinent to police work, but looked really cool, to try to persuade them. And I don't think that's fair, to tell these guys, oh look, this is a bark and hold. Nobody, no suspect I've ever seen stand still, even when they're not bit. They're starting to get the dog, and they're going to get bit, But then, of course, it took a number of years for it to come full circle. But any of these legal updates you go to for like canine service and stuff like that, 70 to 75% of the lawsuits of the bad bites come from bark and hold, because this dog was supposed to stand there and bark until he's threatened or told, but that's not how they're trained. I mean, if you've ever watched Schutzhund, even if you watch like some of her clips with Emma and stuff like that, or even with Andy, the guy stands there in the blind, and all he does is goes, and the dog comes up. So, if you're putting a person in a position, in other words, like, if you've got 5 people, and you're the receiver, there's other 2 of them, knocking off all the time, getting in trouble, shitheads, you should be able to pick who you do, okay? I understand the good old network for that. The problem is you begin to get into a lot of gray area. He doesn't like the sort of around. And for years, that was one issue, because anytime you give somebody any special position, especially probably like good boy. You can't just say that person like that. You're out of there.
Yeah, good boy.
So it doesn't work that way. It's almost like hiring a cop. They've got to go through training. Even if it would be a vendor-trained system, they've got to figure out whether the dog's going to work. Because you can't just take a dog from somebody and try to work with somebody else. There are some dogs that will tolerate that. There are others that will not. And especially when you have, like, if you guys are all taking fights from each other, you have a couple of decoys in your unit that you do, those guys, they can't go to one of those guys and say, you're in canine now and you're taking Ethan's dog, because this dog was using him as a chew-rag for Halloween, so it puts, things in your mail.
So you use that when you go to jail.
Right. Maybe pull them up when you get to jail. Yeah. Look there, pick them babies up and you
Because I knew it came from the prison system, because they purposely give you overtime stuff because it's hard to fight when you
Circle.
This is probably a little before your time, and you know, not you know, you see his name now because he collects artwork.
I mean, cradle him.
He was a local kid show. Do you remember Gene London, Candy, from like being a kid?
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, I never do this.
Boy.
He's not this small, but
Circle around with that.
yeah. 300 watts.